some changes. Some fear in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my attention. Like me, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the minutes. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plaster, paint, destroy, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
JJ Buck.
And those on the in and those on the out, those who give a damn about USA men's soccer are irate, furious, taking after Alexi Lalas, the former Team USA star turned lead commentator on Fox. After getting beat 1-0 by Uruguay, in the pool play, the group play of Copa America, and couple that with Panama's 3-1 win over Bolivia. And the United States, the host country, is out after what everyone has described as a relatively easy, a formality in pool play that they would get through to the knockout round. Instead, it seems to be pretty embarrassing, and people are losing their freaking minds over the state of USA men's soccer just 2 short years before hosting the World Cup. Good morning, boys and girls, and Merry Tuesday, the 2nd of July. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, how you living?
What it do?
You all right over there?
All right.
All right. Tell me, you know where I am on the soccer thing, right? I watched. I think I watched every minute of it. I watched the whole thing live. Sat down and said, all right, I'm gonna dive into this thing. I want to get it. And actually, I for a 1-0 match, I enjoyed the physicality. Maybe it was because it was so poorly officiated. And then I sat there. I just could not stop watching Alexi Lalas afterwards. Just lose his mind and go off on Greg Berhalter, the coach, on the players, on the referee, on the state of U.S. American soccer. I said U.S. American to make it funny. Put this into perspective from where you sit as a guy who is a fan of soccer and obviously a fan of American soccer.
It's a gigantic missed opportunity. This is the first time a team that's hosted a Copa America tournament has not advanced out of the group stage. The path was easy. It's Bolivia and Panama. You can't win the Panama game. You're in a must-win situation against Uruguay. You got nowhere near the goal to put one in the back of the net last night in a must-win game. And it's really tough because this was the last major tournament ahead of the World Cup. And the World Cup is a stage to where you can get everyone on your side. But that is going to be something when it's played in Canada, the United States, and Mexico, that even Joe Schmo dude that wants to complain about soccer all the time, I don't understand what offsides is, is going to get in just because they can put on their American flag T-shirt and root for Team USA.
Well, it's going to be here.
Exactly.
It's in North America.
It's in
Canada,
North America. It's in the United States.
Yeah.
And it's a missed opportunity because now you're in a situation once again where you feel lost as a federation. You don't know what's next. No one trusts the coach. The coach has been polarizing and divisive since he was rehired in 2023. And since then, it's 7 wins, 6 losses, a draw, not advancing on the group stage in Copa America. It's a generation that everyone says, oh, this is the most talent that they've had in certain places, but they can't score. They don't have a striker. And this coach obviously has not been able to take this group and allow them to not just win the games that they need to win, like Panama, or finding a draw when you go a man down in a game, you're up 1-0, but be able to punch above their weight. They can't do that.
So this is your opportunity, those of you who like or love or are somewhat peripherally interested in soccer. Go off today. 505-246-0610. Email Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. On the Twitter, it's _JJ Buck. Facebook, the OD and the AM. You can watch the show on our Facebook page, on our Comcast Channel 26 or Xfinity Channel 26. Adrian's there. You can watch the visuals. If you want to get in on this, maybe you think they keep Greg Berhalter. I see no way he keeps his job, and I don't know this that well, but the way I get it now, JJ, so they went away from Greg Berhalter, did a full international search, and came back to Greg Berhalter to be the head coach or the manager.
And no one believes that they did a full search. This feels so much like it was buddy. Berhalter had a good relationship with everyone who was hiring him, and they brought him back. Like, no one believes that, they were like, well, Berhalter ended up being the best that's out there.
All right. What would Vince Lombardi of soccer, whoever that is, done with this team last night to get them over the top?
I think it's the build up to this. It's everything. It's not just not scoring last night. It's the fact that you found yourself in that position from the Panama game. It's the fact that leading up to this tournament, this group of players that a lot of people have talked about, and you can pinpoint the individual talent on this team. Christian Pulisic is that dude. He's a real deal. He's playing at high-level soccer, AC Milan last season. Weston McKennie, one of the midfielders, playing at Juventus. Christian Richard established himself as an everyday starter on a Premier League team. Gio Reyna has been playing the Bundesliga for a while. Like, there's individual guys that are playing at the highest level that it's not just, it's just a bunch of MLS dudes. You can't win with that. And to see this group stuck in neutral over the last year is where the frustration mounts, because then you get to this point and it's an opportunity to take a step forward, and it was just a giant step backwards.
So I've heard this a lot. It's generational. And you hear a guy like Alexi Lalas go off, and he's like, "This is the best generation ever," but they're not even doing what past generations have done. Not only are they not doing better than what past generations have done, they're not even equally what past generations have done. And look, you could tell me, and we'll get into the officiating, and it was bad. But bottom line is, I don't think the officiating kept you once from scoring a goal, did they?
No.
So
that scream all you want about the official. It's the fact that the United States is the big old zero.
And never really threatened.
And never
there
had
was
a threat.
A ball that was bouncing towards the line at one point where the goaltender was off balance and kind of gathered himself at the end and was able to, right?
Yeah, so I've been hearing it a lot. There's a metric where it's called expected goals. So it's kind of like where your shots came from, and theirs was 0.5. So they had 3 shots on goal the entire night. They're expected to not even score a goal. So the official wasn't great. The where he handed out the yellow card and then allowed Uruguay to continue play immediately was just a straight failure.
Like
they can't do that.
Why didn't they call that back?
He just was over his skis.
Because they damn near scored on that.
Yeah. To me, that was the worst moment of the match.
I agree. And I thought early on when Pulisic went down and got hit, and they gave the yellow card to the American when he got his foot stepped on and that collision. I thought that was the rough. But whatever, the officiating.
But it comes down to this team doesn't score.
All right.
It's falling on deaf ears now, and it's like I said yesterday, man. This is the most hype for the least amount of payoff in sport right now.
And this was Alexi Lalas, who is, and I mean, you go back into the 90s, right? I mean, way back. This was the dude in American soccer. Is he as respected of a voice, American soccer voice, as there is?
He's hit or miss for a lot of people.
Well, if you like what somebody says, he's hit, and if you don't like what someone says, he misses, right? I mean, is he one of the loudest?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, he's got that. Fox is who covers American soccer, and he's got that share. He's their Stephen A. Smith in some regards, right? For him to sound the alarm and say, man, and I know I'm paraphrasing, but I couldn't stop listening to him last night. For him to sit there and say that this is a time where the whole world will be watching, that the World Cup is coming here, that in 2 years I want everybody to be out there and jumping around, whether you like kind of what you said, whether you like soccer or not, to be excited about it. And this was the team, and basically what's to be excited about? What is it? This is the generation that everybody told us was going to be the greatest, and this is the one, and they can't get out of group stage against Bolivia and Panama? And what he said is, and this is where it just hit. He says, I've been listening to the same thing for decades, that this is going to be the group. This is the generation. This is going to be the generation that moves American men's soccer forward. And it's just not. And I'm like, wow, man. I mean, you don't hear commentators talk. You don't hear people who are close to the players and close to the game. But obviously, it means that much to him. This is kind of one of the pioneers of American soccer, isn't it? He was out there, played. Is that right? Because, JJ, from where I sit, yeah, you know what? Kind of heard it for a lot of years.
Like, he is right about that in regards to just such a missed opportunity. Because you look at the games that they're playing, there's 55,000 people at Arrowhead Stadium last night. The match they played at Mercedes-Benz was close to a sellout. Like, people are showing up and showing out for these games. And to put on performances like this, to have the World Cup in 2026 in your backyard, but to have like zero things to point at, zero things to just get a person X excited about, is a problem for the U.S. men's national team.
Greg Berhalter get fired today?
With what we've seen from the United States Soccer Federation and all this, the answer is no.
Next week?
I think there's a strong chance he keeps the job.
Do you think he should?
No. But there's really buddy with everyone in the organization.
Well, but I mean, the organization's got to be feeling. And look,
they brought him back.
I'm not a big fan of firing people all the time. I think we fire coaches too often. But listening to all the people I listen to, and this sounds like it's a culture. If you're going to sit here and tell me that it is all that talent, that there is so much, I mean, this is the generation, this is Christian Pulisic and Reyna, and fine. Then what is it? You scored, what'd you score, 2 goals in 3 matches? 3 goals.
3 and 3.
And got shut. You went 2-1-0. And you're out. Panama and Bolivia. Right. Soccer fan, lose your mind. I mean, we're here for you today. But evidently, not evidently. I mean, U.S. soccer, this was a big moment. And feels like a lost moment. Ton to do today. There's a new signing, JJ. Did you see the new one this morning in the NBA? When we come back, it's not Jason Tatum. I mean, it's not 5 years, $314 million, but it's another big signing in the East that is keeping a core together in the NBA. They're throwing more of that gigantic money around. What the Klay Thompson move means, and boy, when they're going to feel that Jason Tatum signing. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Glad you're here on a Tuesday morning at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports App.
It's kickoff.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on? Who are you guys?
Well, sir, I'm going to pick you up at the DWI checkpoint for drunk driving.
And that's when I have to come down to get you out of jail.
Well, temporarily. I'm Judge Torres.
They call him the Hammer. Hey, hot off the presses, champ.
I'm real proud of you, honey.
Way to make them happy back home, Captain.
Who's that?
That's your new buddy in jail.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service.
You know, the bowl, and you become in. We put out a press release. The new bowl season, the football bowl season, the executive board was announced, and just progression. I moved up to secretary on the football National Bowl Association. So I just didn't think it was that big a deal. So, but, yeah, we're running this. I said, okay, sorry, next year. All right, so here you
Huge
go.
deal.
Next July, I will become treasurer. I'm in charge of the money.
Breaking news.
The next July, I'll become vice chair. July after
So we already have all the stories.
Yeah, and then the July after that, I'm the chair.
Hear he.
Yeah, that's right. I get a throne and everything. All right, breaking news this morning. This as the NBA is thrown around, I mean, just gobs and gobs and gobs. It almost just doesn't seem real sometimes. And I know we say this every year this time of year. It just doesn't seem real. Yesterday, Jason Tatum hit that 5 years, $314 million. This morning, Adrian Wojnarowski said the Cleveland Cavaliers have re-signed Donovan Mitchell. 3 years, $150,000. Well, that'd be cheap. 3 years, $150 million. That's 75 a year. That's not right. No, that's not. I'm sorry, that's not. What is that? How much is that? How many times 3 going to 15? 5? 50 million? That's an even 50. That's the easiest math we could do. What's wrong with me? It's the easiest math you could do. $50 million a year. 50.1 million. It includes a player option for 27-28 season. So the Cavs now, JJ, have their franchise player. For Mitchell, it's guaranteed 4 years at $185 million. It gives him a chance to reach the league's 10-year service criteria, which will allow him to go after the next one, a 5-year extension worth more than $380 million in 2027. And the Cavaliers have their quarterback. The Cavaliers are trying to keep up with the Joneses in the East, which the East is starting to get a little thick.
6 teams. It's good to see talent spread about the league. There's still, clear tiers, as there will be in every sport, when you're able to acquire multiple all-star level players. But that was one where I didn't think that Mitchell was ever going to leave Cleveland based on the extension that he could sign there versus other places. And it seems taking advantage of the ability to pay the players that you have a little bit more than everyone else. And I think Cleveland over the last couple seasons has done a good job of what they've been able to do, bring in and have some pieces in place from Evan Mobley up front, Donovan Mitchell in the backcourt, to see them get to the second round last season, knocking out a young Magic team in the first round before Mitchell got hurt. And this is what you want to see, is teams keeping their stars if they can, build around them, and fan bases and want to feel like they have at least an opportunity to compete.
The Celtics kept one of their stars. Well, they're keeping all their stars, it seems like. Yesterday, Jason Tatum agreed on a 5-year, $314 million extension. That's an average of $62.8 a year. And there's a player option and a trade kicker. So he's 26 years old. And he led them to their title. JJ, the end of this thing is like $70 million. Luka's going to be up next. I mean, Luka's going to get almost $400 million. I mean,
cray.
The numbers boggle the mind. And I guess there's going to be more and more, and it's TV money, and now they're going to get away from TNT, and they're going to get another bigger.
Well, this is one where that ownership group doesn't care because they have the Celtics up for sale, and we're not going to be paying taxes on this.
Well, fair enough. So if that's the case, then why are they doing it? I mean, so I heard this morning, when they bought this group bought the Celtics in 2020 something. I don't even know what it was. Whatever they bought, it was $360 million. Now they're asking $2 billion.
Yeah, it was 2002.
2002. All right, so 22 years ago, $360 million, and they just guaranteed this one player $314. Isn't that crazy? How times? I mean, it doesn't seem like that long, but it was. And then the Klay Thompson. Klay goes to the Mavericks. 3 years, $50 million. And it's the end of an era. I was reading something, a quote from Steph Curry. And this was after the season. When the Warriors lost in the play-in tournament, Steph Curry was asked about keeping the team together. And Steph's quote was, "I could never see myself without those two guys." He was talking about I'm sorry. This is not. He was talking about Klay Thompson and Draymond. He said, "I understand the league changes, and there's so many things that go into it. We're not going to play forever, but we've experienced so much together. At the end of the day, I know they want to win. I know I want to win. That's all I'm worried about." And obviously now Steph's going to have to vision himself playing without Klay Thompson. Let's go to the obvious, what it does for the Mavericks. And this is a team that was in the finals, that won the Western Conference, that has Luka Doncic and has Kyrie Irving, has Lively, who's, I think, a young big that's going to continue to get better. What does this do, assuming Klay Thompson has, and I think we all think, maybe we don't know. I thought he had an off year. I don't think shooters forget how to shoot. I think he's still got some spring in him. He's coming out with 2 major injuries. I think he is a huge addition to what they're doing now.
He's a big addition because he takes on less responsibility. Klay Thompson can no longer be a number 2 option for a team that is going to win a playoff series. He was in Golden State. That's the problem.
No, but he doesn't have to be.
That's what I said. It's a huge addition because he's going to be the number 3. He's going to play behind Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic and just stand there and shoot threes. He doesn't have to create. He's going to have probably less defensive responsibility, a little bit less, but he's going to be looked at as having to step up in defense. I think that could be an issue with Clay, Luka, and Kyrie in the backcourt, even as much as they were able to turn it on late in the season. I think overall it's still something to be looking with the Mavericks, as can they be consistent enough? Because Clay actually had the Warriors were better with Klay Thompson off the court last year, and I think they understand that for what they were going to play Klay Thompson, where they are at right now, he could not be their number 2 on that team, and for them to make one last run out of Steph Curry and Draymond Green.
All right, this was so you understand, this was a sign and trade. It was a multi-team sign and trade. The Mavericks sent Josh Green to the Hornets and 2 second-round picks to the Hornets. Dallas sends its 2031 second-round pick in the deal. Well, whatever. It's crazy. Is Dallas your favorite now in the West? They're the reigning champions, and they seem to have just gotten better.
No.
Who is?
I like Oklahoma City.
They've gotten better too.
Because and I'm just going off track record because we've been here, done that. Oh, the favorites, Boston Celtics champs, and there's been a new champ the last 6 years. Nuggets didn't make it out of the second round.
So you like Oklahoma City? They added. They got Caruso. What they just had the other day?
Hartenstein.
That's what yesterday. They added Hartenstein. So they got another big, which lets them move Holmgren out to the wing, which creates problems. They've got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's one of the best players in the league. They were the number 1 seed. Okay, I'll listen to that. What about Minnesota? There's some good young teams.
Yeah. You look at the West, and again, Denver's not going to fall off the face of the earth.
I agree. Nor the Lakers. Clippers.
They're not.
What about Phoenix?
I think Phoenix should expect the same thing. 5-6 seed, win games, but I think we'll see the limitations of that team in the postseason like we did this year. And Minnesota sweeping them out of the playoffs. So at the top of the Western Conference, to me, it's the Oklahoma City, Minnesota, Dallas, and Denver.
And then there's young teams like New Orleans and Houston are trying to get better and are getting better. And we've got Sacramento, who was right there as a 3 seed a year ago and should still have their pieces. Yeah, it's really good. But the way they're throwing money around, boys and girls, is just bonkers. And they're throwing around again this morning. 3 years, $150 million for Donovan Mitchell. So it's an average of $50.1 million per year. And it's not quite Jason Tatum money, but I don't know, 314.
State tax, though. Don't have to worry about that in Texas. Income taxes. For Clay.
Yeah, it was like, okay, but in Ohio they do, right?
But that's why I think it's when you look at that.
I heard that was a big reason for him to not go to the Lakers. Somebody was reporting that yesterday. It was between the Lakers and the Mavericks, and again, everybody claims to know why somebody does something. The word is he thought he had a better chance of winning the championship in Dallas, and the state income tax. For whatever it is, you're offering the same amount of money. And it makes all right, we got a sweet deal for you. That'll be in about 8:15. I think you're going to like this one. A little bit different than we normally do. So that's coming up today at 8:15, and so you can get in on that. When we come back, there's a lot of NFL stuff going on. The Egypt trip that Aaron Rodgers went on. And I don't know, if not Kansas City, London. Let's just go globetrotting around the National Football League. We'll hit that when we come back. Hey, if you've been the victim of a home or a business break-in, you know way, way, way too well that it usually takes hours, if not days, for police to respond. They simply don't have enough officers to cover all the calls. When it's your home, when it's your business, you need a much quicker response. So how about 7 minutes or less? That's normally the response time for customers of International Protective Service, or IPS. IPS has officers strategically placed around Albuquerque and now in Santa Fe. They react quickly, and many times they catch criminals in the act. They detain them, and they call the police to come pick the bad guys up. IPS also provides standing guard, so if you need eyes on your property around the clock, they can do that for you. They install alarms and camera systems, and they have a state-of-the-art facility monitors those cameras 24/7 to raise the level of security around you. So when you go on break, when you go on summer vacation, who's watching your home? Make sure it's the good guys, not the bad guys. A quick response to your alarm or standing guards at your business is what IPS does to let you sleep better. Can't prevent it all, but if you got no protection, you're more likely to be victimized. Here's their phone number, 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
18th rookies report to camp, 16 days. NFL camps are going to get fired up. Contract talks are going to be going. You're going to actually watch dudes and ads. You know, all that stuff. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Glad you're with us. Text line says, by the way, have we thought about JJ Redick coaching U.S. soccer? Only if LeBron plays. I'm sure LeBron would probably be able to make that better, right? Can JJ Redick do this? Yeah, I mean, hell, he hadn't coached.
Have we thought about Caitlin Clark
see.
being added to the roster? They need to score.
She can shoot from deep. She can score from far. Yeah. She might help too. Anything. Yeah, look, you can get in on USA Men's Soccer, man. You can get in on all of it. If you watched it last night, I know USA Soccer fan is irate. And I guess I didn't, I swear, I didn't know the depths of it until I watched Alexi Lalas last night. And then I opened up the X, the Twitter. Holy smokes, people lost their minds last night.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, I get it.
They're not just selling out football stadiums because of the opponents. Like when they're playing Panama.
You mean Bolivia doesn't sell them out?
Like, this is something that it's strong fan base, a ton of crossover potential in the sports world. And it's not even get out of the group stage. It's here we go again with U.S. soccer. More of the same.
Look.
You buy in and get nothing back as a fan.
I'm older than you, and it's been going on ever since I can recall USA Soccer. This is going to be the year. It's going to launch USA Soccer. Look, soccer in our country has come along. It's come a long way in the last 10 years, 30 years, 50 years, right? It's MLS has been a big deal. You've got all kinds of leagues. USL is attracting crowds. Obviously, what it's done in this market, and that's why people are so pissed, right? I mean, I firmly believe because this was supposed to be the next step. Now, you've got an opportunity at World Cup coming up in 2 years. But this is the core of the group that's going to be the World Cup team. This is that, quote, generation of players that is supposed to be the difference maker. And you didn't get out of a group that included Bolivia and Panama and Uruguay. You're done. Oh, by the way, it's on your soil. That's another soccer term. We don't use soil for anything else but planting, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm good. I'm okay with it. I'm coming over.
We don't use gridiron for a lot of things.
We don't use gridiron.
On the gridiron.
They were on the gridiron.
Playing football.
Yeah. I think that's just the straight definition of gridiron.
A gridiron.
It's a football field.
They played on the gridiron.
Is there another, like, what else would gridiron mean? Is there another use of it? Body of work. Mm-hmm. It's the NCAA term.
Yes.
All right. Aaron Rodgers evidently was in Egypt. That's the big deal. Where was Aaron Rodgers? Well, he was in Egypt. And why was he in Egypt with that? JJ, evidently the unexcused absence was because he booked his trip to Egypt whilst in the midst of recovery from his Achilles tear. This is according to Connor Hughes of SNY Sports News. This trip that he booked during this time was to, quote, give Aaron something to look forward to during one of the lowest points of his career. So he made the overseas trek, and he's admired Egyptian culture for a long time, and didn't realize it was going to be during camp. And then it came out, well, here's when camp is, and I guess he couldn't move his trip or he couldn't afford to change the flights or something. Because JJ only makes $50 million a year. He doesn't make Jason Tatum. He only makes $50 million. So he couldn't change his trip, and so he went over. And the reason, and I know you were big on this, the reason that they came out and just handled it the way they did, the reason they announced Rodgers' absence the way they did by just saying he had, he was unexcused and he has something that's important to him, because they did not want to set precedent for players missing mandatory workouts for pre-planned trips. Because now all of a sudden, Garrett Wilson's like, wow, man, I was going to Cancun. I was going to Montana. Whatever. I can't show up for mandatory. You'll find me. I mean, that's a bad precedent to set.
Well, they kind of did, in a way.
They absolutely
with allowing him to do it, but
did.
we're finding him, and then there's gonna be other players that are like, all right, they got my signing bonus. I'm good.
And that's where it's gonna come. Like, whatever, man. I lost $100,000, and I didn't have to go deal with that mess. I was chilling in Cancun. 100%.
And it is different that it's Aaron Rodgers. It's the quarterback. It's the guy that was talking all that mess about eliminating the noise and BS, and he is the biggest noise and BS on the New York Jets roster. To have this happen, because people already pointed out, what Chicago did with Jonathan Owens, who's married to Simone Biles, and they're letting him go
to the Olympics,
miss a couple training camp practices. But I'm like, yeah, and I think it is different when you have your starting quarterback that's been very adamant about eliminating distractions, and he is the biggest distraction on that team.
How do you feel about dude being able to miss training? I'm okay
I
with
do
it.
feel different.
I'm okay
when
with
it's
it.
just your safety back here versus like if it was Caleb Williams, you'd probably be like, it's probably not the time.
What if it was Aaron Rodgers, though, and his wife? Yeah, I know he doesn't have a wife, but it was his wife, and she was in the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah.
Dude, I'd be, miss 3 days.
That would be that. I'd be fine with that as opposed to just I had a trip to Egypt.
Yes, I think we all say when it's family, go do something, and this is a family moment. Your wife is in the Olympics and has a chance to win the gold medal.
And this wouldn't have been as big a deal because at the end of the day, it could mean absolutely nothing. But since you have that dude that pops off, that snipes at everyone, that takes shots at everyone, and then goes and does this, you're like, okay.
When he's the one who said all this outside BS, all the noise, everything that's going on, we got to get rid of that. We got to eliminate that. And then he created. No, I agree with you. And I don't understand. Look, I don't know what he went on. Maybe it was an actual event that he had to be there at that time, or his tour couldn't be changed. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to guess. Like, you can, it costs, but when you're that dude and you're in that situation, you can probably afford to change your flight, right? Go at a different time?
Who knows? Maybe he had a special one-on-one with
ayahuascan, Egyptian ayahuasca, King Tut, him and King Tut,
reincarnation of some.
I know,
king.
Maybe it's just the noise before the noise. Who's on Hard Knocks this year? I'm trying to remember who we decided was on Hard Knocks. It was something that I was like, it wasn't the Steelers, was it? I honestly don't know who's on Hard Knocks. But I will watch the hell out of it. Every year I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then I'm like, oh, it was good. Oh, it was good. They do such a damn good job with it. I'll watch it. All right, when we come back. So Jason and Travis Kelce. They both went to London for the Taylor Swift shows. Of course they did. What do you think about having an NFL team in London? Moving a team to London? Bad idea? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
If you're drunk,
Blasted. Intoxicated.
Rip. Plastered. Destroyed, brah. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom. Boom.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Just search KNML.
All right, so Aaron Rodgers was in Egypt, and the Kelceys were in London. I don't know why we care. We somehow seem to care. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck, Travis and Jason Kelce were discussing the recent trip to London for the Taylor Swift show at Wembley Stadium. I guess Travis...
You know why people care.
Well, sure.
Taylor Swift. Sure. And they also have one of the biggest podcasts going right now.
Killing it. So Travis was on stage, and Travis said, quote, "I'm waiting for that team to play for another team other than the Chiefs. That's the only situation is if I get to play abroad." The NFL likes to tease the possibility of moving teams to London. It generates more interest in the NFL over in London. At some point, folks are going to realize, and I think you and I have gotten there, it's not realistic. And Jacksonville would be the team that makes most sense, but they just tied themselves to Jacksonville for a long time. It feels to me they're at the right place, and I know they're going to go overboard. So they'll keep pushing until they have to pull back. But it feels to me they're at the right mix, right? They've got a couple games in London. They go to Germany.
At that moment.
Right? They're at that moment.
They're starting the season in Brazil.
Yeah. Do you think it's too much?
I think it's at
It might be.
tipping point.
I agree with you. Look, this game, you don't need to be putting teams in Brazil or South America or in Europe or I mean,
they're never going overseas. They're never going.
They talk about it a whole
because
lot,
it
man.
allows it's the carrot at the end of the stick, that tease. But logistically, it would be a nightmare.
That's
to travel a team overseas.
Well, I think
would just be a
logistically it would be a nightmare to travel teams overseas. They'd have to put two, because you'd probably go over and play them both, and they'd come over here for a couple of weeks and go back. Logistically, it's a nightmare. It'd be a competitive disadvantage.
Then you'd have to buy your international NFL package on top of your regular package, on top of your Peacock, on top of your
And games would be at 2 a.m. or whatever. Yeah.
Sunday ticket that might be free moving forward. Who knows?
Because I want to hit because the games start in London are 7:30 in the morning anyway. And I think dropping American athletes, and you can tell me all the time, well, foreign athletes come over here and they play. Yeah, they come over here to play in an American league, and there's support for them. To just drop, I don't know, a 20-year-old kid in Brazil where he doesn't speak the language and has a bunch of money, I just think it's such a bad idea. I don't mind playing over games overseas. Jason, where are you on the settlement? So what was it, $4.7 billion or something? Are you going to get some of that money, by the way? Do you get some of that back?
I have no idea.
How does that work? Who gets that
how
money?
any of this is going to work with the payouts and what will actually be paid out.
So the NFL lost the suit on the Sunday team, and basically, people were saying, it limited access. I'm on the other side of this, and I get it. It was 4.7 that they have to pay in damages after ruling the league violated antitrust laws in distributing out-of-market games. It's a premium subscription service. So the jury awards $4.7 billion to the residential class. I don't even know what that means. And $96 million in damages to the commercial class. That's the bar. Damages can be triple under the federal antitrust law, so it could end up being like $14.3 billion. I mean, it's just an unfathomable amount of money. And it talks about 2.4 million residential subscribers and 48,000 businesses who paid for the package and out-of-market games from 2011 through 2022. That's you and me through DirecTV, right? I mean, that's you and me. The lawsuit claimed, and most of the people listening, this is where the lawsuit claims the league broke the antitrust laws by selling its package of Sunday games at an inflated price. Subscribers also say the league restricted competition by offering Sunday ticket only on one satellite provider. I get the one satellite provider thing, but this whole argument that well, it was a subscription and I couldn't watch all the games. When did it become a right to watch every game? Like, there was over-the-air games. This is where I kind of side with the NFL. It's a premium package, right? It's like when you fly first class, you pay more, so you board first, you get bigger seats, you give you cocktails while everybody's boarding, you get a meal, and everybody else is sitting in the back, and they don't get all that, right? It's kind of the same thing to me. You order a premium service, you paid for it, and you got something that people sitting back in coach didn't get. They had to watch whatever they get over the air on Fox and CBS. I'm not looking to side with the behemoth here, but it seems like there's premium packages for everything. You go to a concert and you get a VIP package and you go sit upstairs and you get fed as opposed to sitting in the rafters and you bought the cheap seats. Tell me what I'm missing on that part. I get the part on the only one provider thing. Like if you had DirecTV or if you had Xfinity or somebody else, you couldn't get it. I understand that.
I was kind of reading the stories as it was going on.
Yeah.
And when it looked like the NFL might lose this case, I was trying to figure out what specifically kind of pushed them over the top. And to me, I think it kind of came down to the pricing.
It was expensive
of the package, but then the fact that others were kind of trying to come in, and there were, I guess, no negotiations with it. And I think ESPN was like, "Hey, we'll do this and offer it for $70." And they're immediately like, "Nope." But to your point, it's still a business,
mm-hmm.
and you're offering a premium service. So I'm still kind of trying to look through and say, what was the tipping? Like, why did they lose this ruling?
Yeah, I don't understand it. I get the competition thing where it was only offered on DirecTV. That part I get. But sometimes there's a premium package. Like you go to a Lobo game, sit in the End Zone Club, you get fed, and it's freezing outside, and you're warm, and you get cocktails, and you get fed. You paid for that, right? As opposed to the guys sitting outside freezing and having to go stand in line for a hot dog. That part I never. But boy, oh boy, the numbers on it again. I mean, if you think the NBA number, Bob, $14.39 billion they could be liable. It's insanity. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. He's the NFL's Offensive Player of the Year. He's handling more touches than anybody in the league. Is it the right balance, or is it too much for Christian McCaffrey? And how are the Niners going to handle him? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Hour.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet? Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Money flying around the NBA. More this morning. If you missed it this morning, Donovan Mitchell's the latest to get paid. The Cleveland Cavaliers have re-signed Mitchell, an extension, 3 years, $150 million. 150.3. I don't want to forget that extra $300,000. $150.3 million for Donovan Mitchell. Comes on the heels yesterday, Jason Tatum getting $314 million over 5 years. And it goes on and on. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, you can get in on any of that. If you watched the U.S. men's soccer team last night against Uruguay, lose 1-0. They are out of Copa America. They get knocked out in the group stage, do not advance to the knockout round. And USA soccer people are losing their minds, and I think rightfully so. This was going to be a time where they took a big step. The World Cup is in North America coming up in 2 years. This is mostly the roster that will be that team to compete. And JJ, I think one thing that people don't understand, and it took me a second. I'm like, well, all right, there's 2 years, and you got time, you can get better. And evidently, there's not a lot of great competition. You're just going to play a bunch of friendlies against the Bolivias of the world. And how is that going to prepare you for
hit the road?
What does that mean?
Go overseas.
Okay.
Play teams on their home soil. Like, yeah, you want to sell tickets and be like, hey, here's a friendly in Chicago and Kansas City. Go make a trip and be like, hey, Germany, can we get a game with you? Italy, Spain, whatever it may be.
Will those countries give you a game?
Sure, they will.
How do you set up a friendly?
Like,
you just, hey,
pick up the phone. How do you set up any schedule?
I don't know. I mean,
you pick up the phone, you know somebody.
Okay.
Like, we need a game. Usually, you're playing X amount of friendlies here.
If you come to the pit,
let's go.
We'll return too.
Do it. Like this, it just feels like a bunch of excuse making all the time for the U.S. and they're not good enough
because there's not a major competition.
It's always I'm done with it being Major League Soccer's fault. And people are like, well, you know what? If you didn't have a pay-to-play system growing up, it'd be more opportunities for a kid. Show me what sport isn't pay-to-play right now in the United States.
As far as youth sports?
Youth sports. We're talking Yaffle and pads and basketball if you get into AAU and baseball and travel teams. Like, it's a lame excuse that I'm tired of hearing.
So you're saying it's limiting the athletes, the poor kids can't play. Okay. I mean,
I think that in the pecking order, soccer is still behind some of those other sports. But while that is an entirely different conversation, I don't think that is the reason that the United States did not get out of the group stage in the Copa
Does
America.
Uruguay have a better youth soccer federation than the United States, a better development? I mean, honestly. Panama
I
does?
don't know that.
You can tell me Panama does too? Soccer became the most popular game in the world. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, because it's the most simple game to play. You need a ball and some place to kick it around. If you don't have a ball, you kick a can, right? I mean, like isn't that what it is? Why it's so popular in every country? All you need is a bunch of people, a ball, and you can set up makeshift goals between those two trees or whatever, right? That's why it became the most popular game in the world, because you don't need pads and bats and gloves and mitts and clubs and right? You need a ball, an old ratty ball, and a bunch of dudes in a field. It was always the most accessible game in the world. I know so many of you are really angry. And you know, again, I go back to Alexi Lawless on Fox last night, who lost his mind. That was a Stephen A. Smith kind of a rant, wasn't it?
It was.
Did you watch most of the post match?
Yeah, I thought Lawless, Kari Lloyd, and Clint Dempsey were right on, man. They're invested. They've been there, done that. They've played at the highest level for their country. Kari Lloyd won World Cups.
Clint Dempsey basically called for Greg Berhalter's head.
Like, it's one that this is when you have the World Cup, and I think that there would have still been the same buzz whether the World Cup was played in North America or somewhere else. But you have this like gigantic opportunity with Canada, United States, and Mexico hosting in 2026.
Is Canada out too? Mexico?
No, they advanced.
Canada advanced. Okay, so Canada's the only one that got through. Kind of crazy in its own right. I mean, if you just said only one of them was going to get through, Canada would have been your last choice, right?
It would have been, everyone would be like, "Oh, of course, Mexico's going to get through."
Right? No, seriously. And they did. Who was in their group? Sorry. All right. So if you want to get on the soccer, you can. I got emails coming in this morning. One of you said that JJ Redick should coach the soccer team. Gopher says, "Holy bleep! Is anyone working at Cumulus this week but JJ and you, Jeff? I thought the 4th of July was a holiday, not a Holly week." Yeah, people are off this week. No, Clark's working, isn't he? Isn't he next door over there?
He's right there.
All right. You and I are just off Thursday, right? We're working Friday?
I won't be here Friday.
You won't be here Friday? It's just me? All right. You just like to take a Friday off.
Heck yeah.
All right. I'm down with that.
We could do a best of show.
On Friday?
We should maybe pull that off. I don't know who's going to tell us no.
No. I'll pull a best of show. I'll create a best of show.
It was like easy 4-day weekend. Jumped on that.
That's good. No, I've got to go. I'm going to media days next week, and then I think I'm off the next Friday. So yeah, I'll take some time off. All right, Louisville football on True TV. So Lars says, translation: get ready to purchase another TV package because chances are you don't have True TV on the 3 others you already pay for. I'm going to guess you do. I'm going to guess you do. Actually, that's where you watch a lot of the NCAA tournament. The TNT Turner package is basic on most cable packages. I'm gonna guess, Lars, you do have it. So the Mountain West announced yesterday a 3rd-tier television package. 4 Lobo games are going to be on True TV. I think that's a great thing for them. It's national TV. Whether you know it or not.
First college football games that will be on
Turner
that package?
It might be. So Turner's going to get either one or I think one of the first round of the college football playoff. ESPN's producing the games, the packaging the games. So it'll be like an ESPN look, I believe, but it'll be on Turner. So it's an ESPN produced game that'll be on Turner. So they're getting back into that. I saw somebody yesterday say, maybe it was Grammer. He said, "Look, does that mean Kenny Charles and Ernie are going to cover Mountain West football?" We can only hope so, right? I think it's great. I guess it means that George and I aren't doing any games this year, which is a bummer for us. But I mean, I think it's great for the coverage of the program, and for this league that they're going to be out there, and it's just going to be another place. Like CW started covering ACC games last year, and I didn't see any. And I guess because I got to figure out what's going on with. I'm going to talk to people why DirecTV still doesn't give me the CW. But I think this is great. It's just another place for you to get college football. What do you think? I was a little surprised by it yesterday, weren't you?
I had zero idea that was going to be a thing. So, yeah, when it dropped. But this is something that whatever package, if you're Dish or Comcast or YouTube TV, like that's there. Yep. It's not, you don't have to add it.
Yep. Lobo Hobo said Aaron Rodgers equals opening drive callers. Jeff, that reminds me of the callers who schedule fall weddings, then complain they have to miss Lobo football. Aaron Rodgers going to Egypt. Yeah, it's the same concept. It's the same concept. Omar's in for camp starting up soon. He says, remember when they used to go to Ruidoso? My favorite Ruidoso memory is when you talked to Galletti from fall camp, and he said, Lobo football is going to surprise people, Jeff. This team has tons of talent. First game, they were down 59-0 to Oregon at halftime. Yeah, I recall that too.
Bit of a Jerry Jones moment.
Yeah, I recall that as well.
The spiral looks so good.
It was, who was it? Clayton Mitchum, was that his name? He throws the most beautiful ball, the most beautiful spiral. All right, 505-246-0610. We'll have a sweet deal coming up for you soon. This is going to be actually a really fun one. I want you to get in on the soccer stuff. I'll get you the Christian McCaffrey story as well. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Vieta and JJ Buck get in today, 505-246-06. Emails coming in, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. JJ at sportsanimalabq.com, whatever I just said. Carl says, not falling for that again, Jeff. Tiger Woods will likely play 2 rounds, the British, and disappear, and the OD will forget about him. Then 6 months from now, we'll get a tweet probably from our guy Nota Begay that Tiger's galloping around Jupiter Island with Lance Bennett, and he looks great. OD will start jonesing for the Glenn Campbell, but Carl won't fall for it again. Carl, it is easy. This is easy where we are with Tiger. Tiger's going to play the Open. He probably won't make the cut. And every time he's there, we're going to watch. But I think we've gotten to the point now where I'll give you Tiger scores because you want them. But you're going to watch Scottie Scheffler and Xander Schauffele and Rory McIlroy and Bryson DeChambeau. Golf is fine. Is it a little more exciting when you get a little Tiger? Is there a little something for some of it? Yeah, it is, because it's still Tiger damn Woods. It'd be like if Michael Jordan went out and played. But I think we've gotten to the point where you don't expect him to win. And you want to see if there's that flash. And there'll be a week at some point where he competes. I don't think he's going to win one. But that's where we are, right? Pretty cut and dry at this point.
Pretty cut and dry.
Christian McCaffrey won the NFL's Offensive Player of the Year award. He handled more touches than anybody in the league last year. So what do they do with him? 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan is hinting that they may dial back his quantity of field. And I think they need to. I mean, at some point, you don't want to break that dude, and he's human. He says, we got guys that can run the ball. We have to protect Christian from himself. He doesn't like to ever come out no matter what the situation is. And I do think that's something we can protect him with. That was his quote. Elijah Mitchell had 75 carries last season. They have Jordan Mason who ran the ball 40 times. They've got a 4th-rounder named Isaac Guerrero. I think that's the right answer at some point. Look, you paid him a ton of money, Jim. At some point, running backs break. He's, how old is Christian McCaffrey at this point? He is getting to the point, he's 28 years old. He's coming up on that magic number. But yet he's still that guy. Yeah, the answer is split up sometimes, isn't it? Unless you got him on your fantasy.
Yeah, this is definitely easier said than done when you have a player like that. But for a team like San Francisco, they know their aspirations are NFC Championship game, Super Bowl appearance, trying to win that Super Bowl title. And so it's building to the second half of the season. It's football. You never know what's going to happen. You could get hurt on 2 carries. You could get hurt on 22 carries. But it's also just understanding that even if you want to, there's not a magic number of snaps or carries with that, because to me, if I look at Kyle Shanahan, it would be in game situations. If you're in the lead, if you're comfortable, is that when maybe you try to give young players some carries. But then that's the opposite thing, is that's when coaches don't want to do that. They just want to see it out with the players that they trust. So I think this is more of an off-season talking point as in terms of, Christian McCaffrey has been durable. He's electric. And while maybe he won't lead the league in touches, he's still going to be easily top.
Right. No, but I think that's right. I just think there's got to be some sort of you start drawing him back a little at some point, right? Because let's protect him. They dialed Debo back. Debo was taking some of his touches. You kind of go back to him a little bit?
Because they have plenty of ways to go, but McCaffrey is just such a special player with what he can do out of the backfield.
All right, dude, I got this. This is going to be fun. Boys and girls, so we do sweet deals for you on Tuesdays and Fridays. And it's very often you get a great deal at a restaurant. This one's a little bit different. This is get half off of 4 tickets to the Albuquerque Brick Convention. So for $60, it's $30. It's a $60 deal. Robert is here, the organizer of the Albuquerque Brick Convention, where Lego Brick will display their creations. It's coming up in August the 10th and 11th out at the Sid Cutter Pavilion. It's good to see you. I appreciate you coming in. So I'm reading more about you. Acronyms are acronyms. I'm reading about the MOCs. JJ, those are my own creations, MOCs. And there's AFOLs, AFOLs. Those are adult fans of Legos. Lego is gigantic, isn't it? And I was looking at the website, look at some of the pictures. Holy please. This is a big deal. All right, talk about your event. What do you got coming up?
So, in August, we're on the first annual Lego convention here in New Mexico. That's where all the AFOLs going to bring all their build, and we're going to have workshops, presentations, games, building activities, and that's just for the AFOLs. And for the public, you get to see all the mocks.
Do they bring them out there built, or they build them while they're there?
No, they bring them. So all year they've been building, or in the last few months they've been building. And they had to bring them there, reconstruct them if they get damaged on the way there. And so we have a small window of time, like one day to build everything. And so on Saturday morning, 10 a.m., it's ready to go. And when you come in, you see all the mocks.
How big is this? I guess I'm starting to realize how big Lego and AFOLs, adult fans of Lego, how big this really is. I guess when I saw, what's the show? Did Fox run it? Somebody ran a Lego building show, right?
Yes.
And I guess Lego Masters?
Yeah.
I guess I didn't realize how gigantic this is amongst adults.
Oh, yeah, it's very big. I didn't know it either when I got divorced in 2011.
Is that why you got divorced when you were playing with Lego?
No, she encouraged me to buy the Lego.
Did she really?
She was like, you build them, and then let kids play with them, they destroy them, and you get to build them again.
All right,
and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So my son played Godzilla, and I rebuilt them. And so then when I got divorced and everything, I was buying Legos and everything, and I had money, so I was like, I bought every single city Lego set there was.
Wait. You had money when you got divorced? Because when I got divorced, I had to pay. Well, we'll talk offline about this. Somehow you did it right, and I didn't do this right. All right, so
then I was like, is there people like me out there? And I looked it up, and I couldn't really find too much. But then when I came out to New Mexico here, I found there's a big community out here. And then I found that it's worldwide. Then they do Lego conventions. I was like, Lego conventions? What is that?
So did you go to your first one?
I did in 2019.
All right, so what happens at these things?
Well, there's different things there. So I said there's workshops and there's activities to build. So like we're going to do, one of the games we're doing is going to be building a bat. So I give them a set. They got to put in a 1 gallon Ziploc bat. Okay. And then you get time. And you got to build it without opening it up inside that bat. Whatever with the set.
Whatever bricks you have, whatever you've got, you
no,
got to build.
Well, that's set. So then there's a heart strap. So I buy one set, but for everybody, and then they get separated, and then they get all the pieces.
Damn.
And then there's more to it. There's more that goes on, but in this one, this is our first one.
Yeah.
So we're small, so we're gonna just do a few games. Then there's a speed build too. So we get them set. Whoever done the first, they win.
It's pretty cool.
It's just like I think that one's gonna be like 58 pieces.
All right. Well, you're gonna win sets of Legos with 5 games within 2 days. I guess you've got a bunch of the best builders in the world who are coming to Albuquerque.
Well, We got them from all around the state and people from out of state too. I got people coming from Arizona, Texas, and a lady from Utah. And part of the games that the public is participate in, look for these little mini containers right here. And I'm going to pass these out to all the builders, and then they'll place them inside their mocks. And then the public just walks around. They can look for these, and they write on the form what builder was in. And then the first one back to me, the correct amount and the correct build, then they will win a prize.
All right. So here's it's all right online for you. Go to AlbuquerqueBrickConvention.com. Spell it out. AlbuquerqueBrickConvention.com. The event is August 10th and 11th out at Balloon Fiesta Park. The sweet deal, go to our website and do it at 9 o'clock. SportsAnimalABQ.com. Click on the sweet deal icon. And so it's $30 for $60 worth of tickets. That's 4 tickets, right?
Yes.
So that's your sweet deal. Half off, 4-pack of tickets. $30 gets you 4 tickets. That's normally $60. And this is, I mean, you've got themes like Star Wars and castles and trains and cities and all kinds of stuff. You get to, if you're into Lego, how about the kids, man? I mean, I always thought Lego was for kids. Am I just wrong? Are the kids invited to this? Do they get to learn stuff? How about the kids?
Yes, the kids are also invited. They're also, I'm going to do it.
It's an all-age event. You don't have to be 21 to get to Lego.
There are some that have that at night.
Fair enough.
But then there's but like for ours, it's all ages. I'm introducing the young builders. I'm calling it.
Yeah.
And so they could bring their mocks. If they decide to bring it, they come in. They pay like $5, and they get a little space set up. I have 3 tables set aside just for them. So they want to build, they bring it. They pay the $5, and they get a space on the table.
Do you have any idea Legos was this big?
Yeah, I have a 5-year-old.
It's like I got a 5-year-old. Yes. Do you play with the Lego more than Mark does?
No, we're about even. He loves designing whatever.
All right, take advantage of this. Our sweet deal, go to our website, SportsAnimalABQ.com. Click on the sweet deal icon and do it at 9 o'clock. For $30, you get $60 worth of tickets. That's 4 of them to go to the Albuquerque Brick Convention at the Center Pavilion at Balloon Fiesta Park, August 10th and 11th. If you want to learn more about it, go to AlbuquerqueBrickConvention.com. Robert, good luck with this. Great to see you.
Thank you very much.
It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports FM.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Evergard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart.
JJ, how many times over the years have you seen, for promotion of the NCAA tournament, Jim Valvano in that 83 North Carolina State team here at the Bid, or Mario Chalmers shot, or I mean Pickett, right? The NCAA tournament. does the NCAA have the rights to the video? And hence the right to use the video to promote their tournament? Or does anybody who's in the video, and now you're talking about, well, what if I was the guy defending him? What if I was the guy making the shot? Do they have the right to be compensated every time you use it to promote the NCAA tournament? So 16 former men's college basketball players, Mario Chalmers from Kansas, Sharon Collins from UConn, Jason Terry, Arizona, a bunch of guys, are suing the NCAA in multiple conferences for unauthorized use of their name, image, and likeness in March Madness highlights. Include the Pac-12, the Big Ten, the Big 12, SEC, ACC, Turner. Defendants were systematically and intentionally misappropriated, and that the NCAA has been reaping millions of dollars from their name, image, and likeness. JJ, 10 members of the North Carolina Fit in 1983. They sued the NCAA and CLC, Collegiate Licensing Company, North Carolina, for unauthorized use of their name, image, and likeness. They call themselves the Cardiac Pack. Quote from this lawsuit: for more than 40 years, the NCAA and its co-conspirators misappropriated the Cardiac Pack's publicity rights, including their names, images, and likenesses associated with that game and that play. Millions of dollars for the Cardiac. I don't know where they're settling all these things. They settled in the House deal. JJ, I'm supposed to feel about this. Who has the rights? Are you never able to show a highlight again to promote something? Is that? But the broadcasters are licensed right through the NCAA. Mario Chalmers.
I think at some point this is just like seeing how much money the NCAA is paying out, and people just wanting to get a piece of it. Because now you're going to say that. So every athletic event that's filmed, a highlight you need to be sent a 10-cent check.
That's what I'm saying.
Like this is where we're going now with it.
Are they going to start hitting news services too? Are they going to say, Fox Sports?
Yeah, it won't just stop at.
Well,
Sports
right.
Center
Every time Sports Center shows a play, is that, well, that's news. Okay, if they're using it to promote an upcoming game, does the player need to be compensated? And then does that leak into the NFL and everything else, right? I don't know, man. This one seems like a can of worms that's a little much. And that the NCAA has been abusing these players for years. This is the lawsuit. Mario Chalmers, Sharon Collins, and other members of the 2018 Kansas Jayhawks National Championship men's basketball team have been paid nothing by the NCAA or its partner TSI for the continued use of their name, image, and likenesses in promoting and monetizing March Madness. The same is true for thousands of other former NCAA athletes across all sports whose name, image, and likenesses are continuing to be displayed for commercial purposes by the NCAA, its member conferences, and its partners such as TSI. So you get to a point where at some point the NCAA, who you want to pay all these athletes and pay for scholarships and everything else, at some point they need to be able to promote their product to be able to make money to pay for this, right?
Yes.
Where's the money supposed to come from? You know what I'm saying? As a business, how are you supposed to promote your business if now I can't use what I've got to promote, our events? Well, it's not your event. It's my name, image, and likeness. I see both sides of this, and I see this getting... But more in college sports. College sports, the conferences are getting hit from every side. Everywhere. And you may say they deserve it, and you might be right. AJ Bramlett's one of the defendants in this fight. Former La Cueva star. So other plaintiffs in this lawsuit, Alex Orakai of UConn and Missouri, DeAndre Daniels of UConn, Roscoe Smith, UConn and UNLV, Vincent Council from Providence, Matt, Missouri, AJ Bramlett's on here. It's really, really interesting, man. This one.
So, is it one shining moment gone? Unless they pay everyone.
So, and I guess you have to define: is that used to promote it, or is that in the context of news? Right? Cast, you're wrapping up that year's tournament, as opposed to, watch the NCAA tournament. Oh, there's a great, Christian Laettner's pass, right? Or I'm sorry, Christian Laettner's shot, the Grand Hill pass. Jim Valvano running around. I think we're on a slippery slope. Maybe I'll reach out to AJ and see what he thinks on this one, because this one really interests me. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. We come back. Warriors lose Klay Thompson. They have issued a statement on Klay Thompson leaving their organization and signing with the Dallas Mavericks. I'll give you that next in the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Get immersed in new worlds and ideas with Audible. Explore an incredible selection of audiobooks.
Shawty, she better than all my intentions.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunkler here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better, better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like me, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Hey, look, it's Dwight Goodman. Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom. Boom!
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Cross-Camara here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Shawty, she better than all mine.